Hello, hello everyone. It is me, Ms. Alamo RN, and I'm so grateful for you guys coming back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is April and I am a nurse practitioner student, and I have owned a med spa, and I do a lot of content on establishing med spas and all things related to nurse entrepreneurship and things of that nature. So welcome to my channel. And if this isn't your first time here, thank you so much for returning. And I'm just so grateful for all the support that you guys have given me, and welcome back. So it's been a while. It has been a while. The last time I did a video was, I want to say late April, right before I made my transition from the Bay Area in California to back to Tampa, Florida. So I'm here, you guys, and I am so excited to be back home. My life was very transitional for the past like 4.5 months or so. So I'm just starting now to kind of get things settled down. Hence why I'm back recording. And I also just had it was so much chaos going on that I just needed to take a break and let things stabilize. So let me bring you guys up to speed. So for starters, if you checked out my last video, I talked about just like with that, it was a long one, but it was a lot of things to go over because I was really having a hard time with processing the fact that I had all of these things planned out for my med spa or the practice opening once I got here. And then there were just tons of changes that have happened. So it's a long one, but there's good content and good lessons that I learned in that video. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And so again, I've been back for about 4.5 months now. And the first 3.5 months, we were kind of like doing a lot of renovations and things to our home. So we purchased this home brand new. We lived in it for about a year before we left and moved to California for my endeavors that were there. And our plan was always to come back, so we had renters in our home. So our renters were great. However, there were things that needed to be kind of brought up to date and deep cleanings and changes that had to occur. And I have created the most lovable, positive energy space that just every time I'm in my home, it brings me so much joy. And if you guys know me, you know I'm all about the energy and the vibe. So so we did a lot of work, and that's why I had to just take a minute to process all the things that my husband and I were working on. My husband has started his endeavors, and I'm just so proud of him for us making this transition back, and him doing committing to what it was that he said that he was going to do. So I'm just so super proud of him. So now that things are settled down, I've had a lot more time now to get back in the swing of things with focusing on the spa. So I do still have my office manager. I had to make some little changes with that, but I have that established. And then I actually found 3 nurse practitioners and one that I still have yet to have interviewed. And the reason why I have so many nurse practitioners is that I want to make sure that we have in the location that it's not one person that's responsible for everything, because people have schedule changes. Some people want to work, closer to full-time. Some want to do part-time. Some want to just kind of pop in and do as needed. So we'll have coverage, and it'll just give a little bit of extra fluff and buff, for lack of a better word. So super excited about that. I actually just did the cutest like botox mixer with my 2 nurse practitioners that I'm training, and my office manager as well, and it was phenomenal, you guys. Like, there was so much that they learned. We just had a blast, and it just gave me the feeling of making a transition from owning a practice where it was more like just me, a one-man show, to now there's other people involved, and we're building a team, and it just gave me that little glimpse of a vision of what this is gonna feel like. So I am super, super excited. I dialed back a lot when we first got here because there was just so much going on that I just could not, I was overwhelmed and I just could not focus on anything related to the spa until my house was situated. My daughter went to the Navy. It was just a whole transition period. So I just feel so ready to just indulge and get this going. I have certain timelines for myself for certain things, but I've taken off the pressure that I have to have it by this date. This has to be done because that's the control freak in me. And it doesn't have to work that way. So I'm just taking everything one piece at a time, one day at a time, and it's all coming together. And I'm just so super excited. And I'll be sharing a lot more with you guys as things develop. But as far as where we are now, I have the key players in the practice that I'll be utilizing, with the exception of my massage therapist and my esthetician. And I have quite a few options with those, but I'm gonna wait a little bit on pulling them in until I have a couple more details of this ironed out. I am still looking for a location. So right now we're doing some things more like concierge style and just little like kind of like botox parties, for lack of a better word, where we all kind of come together and get things done. My role in this practice, as I have started to shift my vision from like the one-man show, it will look more of the business management portion of it. So my desire is, of course, I will have my select clientele that I do, and I inject to keep my skills up, of course. Excuse me. But the goal is to manage the business and to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and rinse this and repeat it so that we can have, you know, another location within a few short years. So that's kind of like where my Cliff Notes version of my update for the Medspa is. And I'm just super excited. We are adding new services. So as those things kind of unfold, I will be sharing them with you guys just to keep you up in the loop. Update on school. School has started to kick my butt. I officially completed the master's portion of my family practitioner degree. So I'm super excited about that. That's a major accomplishment. So I'm like halfway through my program essentially. So the remaining classes that I will be taking are all going to be focused on like the family practice component of being a nurse practitioner. So which, you know, means that the ante is about to go up. Like it's about to get a lot more aggressive. So I am in my first nurse practitioner course currently, and I'm just excited. I'm motivated because I know that that means that I'm getting closer to the finish line. So excited about that, and I have just more time to just really focus on that and, you know, just pulling everything together so that all of this kind of comes together. You guys know that the laws in Florida, I've spoke on this before, are completely different. Someone did ask in one of my other, in the comments on under one of my other videos, if you can be an RN and inject in the state of Florida, and the answer is no. You have to be a nurse practitioner in order to inject any cosmetic injectables in the state of Florida. So you guys, it's really important that you always keep your finger on the pulse of what your state practice guidelines are. It doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Your practice guidelines are specific to the state that you're in. So that's why I had to kind of do things from a different angle as I'm here, and hence like why I am trying to rapidly finish my program so that I can have the ability to be able to inject. But my focus currently is on the management of the business. You can own your own practice in Florida without being a nurse practitioner, but you just can't physically inject until you have that. So I also wanted to address some questions that I have that people have asked, and I feel like it'll just be a little bit easier to explain it, and I can maybe go a little bit more in depth video versus in the comments. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get these questions answered. Okay, so one person asked, are you a nurse practitioner? I am researching to open an IV hydration clinic myself. I am currently an RN right now in my FM program finishing in 2023. So first and foremost, congratulations to you, and we are on the same ride together, sis. So good luck to you finishing your program for your FNP. No, I am not a nurse practitioner. I am a nurse practitioner student, and I'm about halfway finished with my program. And I also do have an IV hydration component within my business model. So good luck to you doing that. The same person also asked, do you have a video that goes over the topics of how to begin? And I do. Check out, if you just scroll through my videos and kind of, go through them and maybe fast forward a little bit to get to what you need, I discuss all of this information. But I also offer coaching calls. So if you need to have like some one-on-one guidance with, how to do it so you can avoid certain errors that other people have made through experience, I'm here to help you with that. So make sure you check out my link tree. I will link it in the video down below, and that way you have it, okay? So I hope that helps. Okay, second person is, hi, congratulations. Can I ask what software you use for scheduling and charting? So I utilize Aesthetic Record, which I absolutely love, you guys. Aesthetic Record is very user-friendly. It's super easy to navigate through. You could use it as a one-stop shop. If you want to use it for scheduling, you can. If you want to use it, you can even log your inventory in there, send invoices, accept payments. It just has a lot of things that it offers, and I love it. It works for me. When I was first starting off in this, that's what I was trained on, so it's just like second nature. What I do love about it is they have like all these dot phrases that you can put in, and your stuff comes up. You can pre-populate it, comes up easy. You can pre-populate all of your patient instructions and all the things. It's super easy and user friendly, so I love it. Aesthetic Record. And for scheduling, I use the program that, what is it called? What my website is under for scheduling. However, once I establish my practice location, I may switch that or just utilize that, but somehow try to have it interface into Aesthetic Record, because I like having like a one-stop shop for everything. So hope that helps. Another young lady says, can an LPN give cosmetic injections? And the answer is no. In the state of Florida, you have to be a registered nurse in order to do any cosmetic injectables. In the state of California, you also have to be a registered nurse to give any cosmetic injectables. I know that there are people out here that utilize things like the hyaluron pen, I think. I would not recommend that. Do your research. And maybe those people who are utilizing that tool kind of find a little wiggle room to maneuver things. But you guys, we don't want to do anything that causes harm to people. So it's very important that you actually research all of these things, research the practice guidelines for your particular state, because it varies state to state, which is the most important takeaway. So where I am, no, LPNs cannot give cosmetic injectables. Okay, another young lady said, what does a doctor sponsoring you mean to open a business? So she has multiple questions, so let me stop there. So what it means is in most states, you have to have a collaborating provider that kind of is like the overseer of the things that you're doing. So you're going to establish order sets and your protocols and practice guidelines, and that physician is basically signing off saying that these are within the means of practice, like they abide by the laws, right? That collaborating provider also should be doing monthly, or however you guys work it out, chart audits and signing off on all of your documentation. So that's what I love about Aesthetic Record, because you can go in, plug your provider in, and then your provider will, like, once you're done and you complete a chart, you click a button and it'll fire over to him, and then he gets the notification that he has charts to sign off on. So a collaborating provider is just a major component of your business, unless you live in a state where the practice guidelines are different. But here's where it gets tricky. I think there's some confusion on, because there's like a slight gray area, that if you are a nurse practitioner and you have full practice authority in your state, that you don't need to have a collaborating provider. And in my opinion, and based off of my interpretation, so feel free to do you, but based off of what my understanding is if you're doing family practice, there's specific ones. Like I know for the state of Florida, it's like if you're family practice, or if you're doing like general peds or like internal medicine, those people have full practice authority. However, anything that doesn't fall under the practice of family practice, medicine, or things of that nature, you're supposed to have a collaborating provider for. So if I went and established a family practice clinic, then technically once I apply for my full practice authority, I would need to have a collaborating provider. However, aesthetics does not fall under that family practice. So I will be maintaining a collaborating provider because I feel as though it's the right thing to do, number one, and it's safe. And I don't want to do anything to put my license in jeopardy. And I'd rather be a little bit more conservative than lackadaisical and then something happens on the back end. So I hope that helps. The other thing is, are you using their license to purchase product, or how does that work? So of course, as an RN, we don't have prescription privileges, so therefore we can't order our own product. What you do is, once you have your collaborating provider, or if you're working in partnership with a nurse practitioner, then your nurse practitioner or that collaborating provider can establish the account. You can order things. So once that account is established with them, yes, you can order things under that license, within your scope or whatever, and they have to approve it and all the things. But, that's kind of how that works. We do not have prescription privileges as RNs, so you do have to order things with your MD or your nurse practitioner. Once you become a nurse practitioner, you don't necessarily have to have the vendor account set up through your doctor, because your nurse practitioner license covers that, as you'll have prescription privileges. Okay, so I hope that helps. And if you have other questions, just let me know. All right, can you mix Botox to that? So that was about Aqua Gold. And if you look at one of my other videos, Aqua Gold is a microneedling device that you utilize for the face, where you can mix different cocktails of skin treatments and micro needle it into your patient's skin for better penetration. And the answer to that is yes, and it is phenomenal. You can hyperdilute Botox and microneedle it with PRP. That's like my skin regimen. I'm actually due for it. And I do PRP, hyaluronic acid, hyperdiluted Botox, and a little bit of vitamin C. Skin be on glass. Like, it looks so good. And so yes, the answer to that is you can do that. And you can use like 20 units of Botox hyperdiluted, or like 30 if your client has like large pores and things of that nature. It really helps to shrink the pores and minimize any rosacea or redness. So I hope that helps. Okay, another question. Can you get an education to do them without going to college, or do you have to go? And I'm not sure what do them is, but I'm assuming that is because it's under my video of how I obtain my Botox and dermal filler certificate. So the answer to that is you have to be a registered nurse to administer any type of cosmetic injectables, and in some states even a nurse practitioner. So just again, look up your practice guidelines and for your state, and it will identify what you need to do. Okay. Here's another one. I just ran across I just ran across this video. Thanks for this info. I was wondering, was it hard to start with the mannequin training course? This one is a long one, so I'll start there. So this is under also how I obtained my dermal filler and botox certificates. No, actually, there go my little girl right there, my little Mary. Hey, Mary. No, it was not hard at all because, you know, you have it at your leisure to practice. I still utilize this mannequin. I whip her face out and get to injecting and practicing new skill sets that I'm learning, or even refining my old skill sets, learning different ways to do things. But, you know, because it's the repetitious motions and the technique that you're repeating that establishes you and helps you to become more seasoned in this. So no, it was not hard to start with the mannequin training course. I actually like it because, you know, it's difficult when you aren't and you don't really know how to hold the needles. Everything feels uncomfortable until you get a little bit more fluent in that. And for me, I liked it better because I wasn't on someone's face. So if I jerked a little bit or twisted or pushed too hard or whatever, I wasn't on someone's face where they would feel that. So for me personally, no. And then I see you say, I'm debating on doing the 101 series first, then the facial mannequin course, or just going straight for the mannequin course. It's a lot of money to do both, but I couldn't tell if the mannequin course goes over all of the basics as well. Thank you. So yes, the mannequin course is so in depth. They treat the mannequin like it's a patient, and they show you all the things. So you will get a lot of information with the mannequin course, but it is my recommendation that you do it in the manner that you said. So 101 gives you the foundation of anatomy. It's going to give you the foundation of like the background of, you know, Botox and all the botulinum toxins, where they came from, all the different mixing ratios. Like, I got so much information. It's a lot of money. These programs and trainings that we take are a lot of money, but you guys, I say this all the time. You're going to pay going into this field for your training. I take trainings at least once a month, sometimes even twice a month. And I consider myself to be somewhat seasoned, right? And I say that gingerly just because like I don't know, I just feel like there's always room for growth. So, but anyway, it costs. Anything that's worth doing, you're gonna pay for. So kind of just like get that out of your mind that, oh, this is a lot of money, because it is a lot of money. But if you really want to refine your skills and you want to be an expert injectionist, you have to pay. You got people's time and their expertise is worth money. It's worth money. So you're gonna pay. So just be okay with it, and you're gonna be great. This was a long one, you guys. Come back and check out part 2 for the rest of the Q&A. Thanks for watching. Bye.